Hello and welcome back to the third day of competition here for the Utica Home Track Series Royal Rumble. Let's take a look at the drivers that were currently on track the last time we left off. Greg Miller, Seth Cole, Alan Tanker, Michelle Cedillo, Makoto Iguchi, and let's see who's next. Aeroshock, car number 29, is on track for the JFI team. Now last year Aeroshock had a great season, getting her first career Utica Home Track Series victory. But right now she has to prove herself all over again, see if she can have a good season this year. Now last year she had a decent points finish. It wasn't as high as her teammate cars of Julian Kenneblis Jr. and Jeffrey Finguy, but it was high enough to make people say, hey, that was pretty good. But Aeroshock on track this year, and several of the Aeroshock fans out there are hoping that the murder list is brought back. Not everyone is hoping that, especially the other drivers, since they would like to remain intact for the 2014 season. But right now, on track for the second lap of competition, Seth Cole is out front. Now, we've been seeing him hang near the back and play it safe. I think he was trying to do some pack testing, but right now, he's up in front and trying to get that clean air, staying in front of everyone. Now, we've said this several times throughout the course of this event. This is also a great chance for testing, since we don't go to many super speedways, and this is also a great track just for testing. It's a circular racetrack, and it's one that these drivers really enjoy racing on. We've been hearing a lot of good things in the pits saying that the track is really good quality. But as we go through the final turns of this round, we'll head to the other one. Let's see if everyone can keep intact and stay in. Currently Seth Cole out front, followed by Aeroshock and Greg Miller. It looks like everyone is going to be safe if Makoto Iguchi falls back. There goes car number 10, Tina Anderson III from India. Now, the 10 machine is part of American Racing with Daniel Voiles and Annie Thomas. Now, Annie Thomas has already gone on track, but has been eliminated. Anderson is a part of the WRC, along with Thomas and Voiles, and they're hoping for a good season. There's a team made up of energy drink cars. This is the Rockstar machine. The Ant machine was up earlier, and Voiles' NOS energy machine will be up later in the event. But right now, Anderson having a great run out front, getting a little drafting help from Greg Miller in car number 18. They're starting to separate themselves from the main pack, which is the 5 cars all the way back there. So right now, Greg Miller making a pass to the inside as the Citadel machine gets a little drafting help from Seth Cole. Now, just as a recap, a little further back in the pack, Alan Tanker has currently been on track for the longest duration of time, so he's currently getting a bonus point. He's trying to catch up to Megan Atkins, who currently holds the record of being on track the longest at 25 rounds, which is unheard of. Excellent run by Megan Atkins. But right now, Greg Miller up into the race lead. Seth Cole trying to take it away from him, as there's a drafting line of Aeroshock and Makoto Iguchi on the bottom. But wait, Makoto Iguchi going to try and make it 4 wide. Can she hit the speed? No, she couldn't slingshot. Wait, here we go. It's getting pretty dodgy up here. As they go through the final turn on the final lap. Caution out. Oh my god, Tina Anderson high in the air. Makoto Iguchi, Seth Cole, Greg Miller flipping down the front stretch. As the cars come to a rest on the apron and the round finishes up, it looks like these are the 3 cars that are going to make it through. Let's see what went wrong in a replay. So as you see, they're going through the turn there. Michelle Cedillo hits the back of Tina Anderson the third, and they all just get loose and go into the wall. Look at that. Heavy contact. You see Makoto Iguchi with a violent flip. Seth Cole is going to pirouette on the bottom there, and it looks like Makoto Iguchi actually lands on top of Greg Miller's machine. Let's go on board with Seth Cole, see what he has to see. He goes way over, but man, the car moving in a very odd manner. But the car will come to rest. It doesn't look like he took too violent of a flip. Let's take a look now at Greg Miller's view of this. He had high hopes going into today, and it's just going to get caught up into it. Hard contact with the wall. You see that car smoking through the air, and that car just goes on its roof and we lose the camera. Makoto Iguchi was running a little lower on the track, makes some contact with Seth Cole, and that car goes for a very violent tumble right here. Look at this. This is reminiscent of the Adam Dunlap crash from Kyle Lamy in 2011. But comes to rest on the pit wall and on Greg Miller. One more look at this, then we'll see who the next driver is. From Tina Anderson, the third. Look at that. Very high up in the air for the 10 machine. Gets catapulted, but slides to a halt. Fortunately, gets to avoid the violent flip that Makoto Iguchi has, as we see the landing of the 77. Next up is the second of the Robinson cars on track. It is E.G. Robinson, driving car number 70. E.G. Robinson will be running the Speedway events this year. He's splitting it with Jacques Robinson. Jacques Robinson will run the road courses. They have separate sponsors, so you'll be able to tell the cars apart. The 70 Great Clips machine is E.G. Robinson's vehicle. It's based off the Christian Elder car. But Robinson on track, hoping to have a good run. Now, we've mentioned the bet between the Robinsons about which team can do better, the Chevy team or the Dodge team. E.G. Robinson decided to side with Zachary and stick with the Chevy, so he's currently the teammate car of Zachary Robinson. Right now, two-car tandems running side by side. Alan Tanker and E.G. Robinson on the inside. Michelle Cedeno and Aeroshock to the outside. But that seems to have split up. They form a diamond formation, and looks like they switch partners, as Aeroshock goes underneath with E.G. Robinson. Michelle Cedeno to the outside with Alan Tanker as they head through the turn. Looks like, oh, contact! 3 cars on the wall! E.G. Robinson, Aeroshock, Alan Tanker, massive contact with the inside wall. That car goes flying. And that's going to leave Michelle Cedeno on track by her lonesome. So, excellent elimination by the number 68 as she finishes up her final lap of competition, heading through the final turn. So, unbelievable. All 3 cars eliminated, except this one. Here we go, coming down the line. We'll check a replay once she finishes. Just need to make sure she can cross the line safely. And she does. Let's take a look at what happened. Turn 3 seems to be the treacherous spot as Michelle Cedeno turns Alan Tanker into Aeroshock and E.G. Robinson. Massive contact for Aeroshock, and look at that contact with the inside wall. Sends them flying. Catapults Aeroshock into the pit lane, so not a good run there. Let's go on board with Alan Tanker and see what he saw. Gets turned right down to the 29. Massive contact with the wall and slides on the roof for the longest time. Man, what a tumble for Alan Tanker. As we take a look at what happened to car number 70, E.G. Robinson. He just got caught up in this, and he's going to go sliding here. He heads into the grass, but since this is banked so sharply, it catapulted the other 2 vehicles. As now we take one more look at Aeroshock's view of this event. Ow! Just goes flying through the air, rides up on top of the 70, and look at that, just gets catapulted over the pit wall and into pit lane. Fortunately, no one in the pit crew was harmed. Well, only 2 cars on the track right now, Michelle Cedeno and the new driver on track, Michael Downing in car number 30 for Drew Austin Racing. Now, Michael Downing, I don't know too much about his background in racing, but currently driving the 30 machine, sponsored by Mojang and Baja Canadian. So, let's see how he can do this season. Again, another driver with a clean slate. Drew Austin, though, known in various other series, especially NASCAR, where in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, he had such a good run one season, winning 4 in a row. So, hopefully that kind of mentoring will help Michael Downing out this year, as only 2 cars on track, so it's probably going to be taken easy, especially we had a couple of high-profile wrecks just now. Neither of these drivers want to get eliminated. Michelle Cedeno is currently listed as being on track for the longest amount of time. She has to make it to round 60 to beat Megan Atkins, though, so we'll have to see if she's up to the challenge. 2 cars on track, both have really separated, so I think both of them are not willing to wreck each other this round. They're just out here for some practice laps. One more lap to go as Michael Downing has quite the lead on Michelle Cedeno, though not position-based. This is all about survival. The 30 machine continuing around the track. Only have one more set of turns to go before we add one more driver to the fray. Coming out of the final turn, onto the back stretch, nowhere near each other to wreck. As we come to the line, and that will do it for this round. Let's see who's going to be the 3rd car on track. Next up, the 21 of Harrison Langford, the Taco Bell machine, running on the same team as Kyle Corbett. Now, Harrison Langford has appeared in several other series, including the NNSCRA, where he attempted the Daytona 500 event. So, had a decent run in that event despite having a spin. But car number 21, Harrison Langford, hoping to do well in the Utica Home Track Series as he runs underneath car number 30 of Michael Downing and works his way to the front. Now again, only 3 cars on track. I doubt we'll see much wrecking, but you never know. As Harrison Langford gets on the back bumper of the 68 machine, trying to make a pass, running very close to the bottom, and is trying to take that lead away, get into the clean air, and see how that number 21 machine can handle. So now we're in a little bit of a slow period for those looking for the Royal Rumble section of it, as again, not too many vehicles on the racetrack, so a lot more caution, a lot more space between them. For those who are in it for the actual Royal Rumble of the namesake of this event, we'll have to wait till we get a couple more vehicles on track. Michelle Zedino running underneath, trying to work her way to the front. Now, it's been a while since she's won a race. The last time she was in victory lane was at Zandvoort in 2012. And that was back when she was driving the unsponsored 6th machine. So, long way to go for Michelle Zedino. She's going to try and win a race this season. But that's going to finish it up. Let's add one more driver to the track. Car number 19, James Silverfox, is on track. Quite a character in the racing world. Now, James Silverfox, running for Cybertron Motorsports. Teammate Charles Sanford went up earlier in the event, but unfortunately did not last long. James Silverfox hoping to do a little bit better. Now, Silverfox has run in Utica-based competition before. Well, actually, he's going to run in Utica Home Track Series-based competition. He's planning to attempt races in the Utica Rallycross Series for the final half of their season. Have to see how he does there. But car number 19, running a very unique number sequence on there. They have their numbers facing upside down, so that 1, the spotters can see it easier, and 2, so that it stands out from the rest of the pack. Now, I think the cars already stand out due to their black and purple and black and red schemes, but hey, anything to help those spotters out up there. But we only have one more lap in this round to go. It seems like everyone's taking it easy still. So we continue around track, and we see if they can make it to the end. Michelle Cedillo currently out into the lead. Langford and Downing go to the inside, but Downing is going to try and make the pass on Langford as James Silverfox hangs out near the back. But Silverfox trying to make a move under Langford as we head through the final turn, the final lap contact. Langford and Downing off track, and they've catapulted. They've hit the wall and they've gone to the air. I think they might be barrel rolling down the front stretch if they finish up the race. Let's take a look at a replay. Now Harrison Langford gets turned by Silverfox, clips Downing. Downing gets catapulted into the air. I think that might be the highest anyone has gotten in a race car in the Utica Home Track Series, as Langford makes a tumble down the front stretch and Downing rests on the pit wall. I think Langford actually drives it off a little bit. I think he actually tried finishing the race. So yeah, it doesn't seem like there was much damage to the front as we go on board with him, but I highly doubt that car was at competition speed. As Michael Downing, we need to take an onboard with him just to see how far up in the air he got. I think we're getting reported that yes, this is a record for highest a race car has flown. Look at this. Whoa! That was several stories above the 21 machine. So, very, very wild ride for Michael Downing. That's something he can tell the press about. You know, with so few cars on track, we thought things would be calmer, but apparently not. But, right now, Jeffrey Finguy on track in car number 92. He's the last of the JFI cars on track, so he's the last hope for that team to win the Royal Rumble. Julian Kenneblaze Jr. got eliminated very early, being the first car out on track, and Arishak recently eliminated a couple rounds ago. Now, Jeffrey Finguy, driving car number 92 this year, was beaten to the number submission line by Joseph Anesto, who has bought car number 62. So, looks like Jeffrey Finn guy, he's flipped the 6 upside down and created a 9. So Jeffrey Finn guy coming off a great 2013 season as whoa, we gotta report that the 68 car has gone below the line. So it looks like Michelle Sedino out of the event. It's a shame, she was currently the one in line to beat Megan Atkins, so that'll have to pass on to someone else. But as we were saying, a great 2013 season for Jeffrey Finn guy. He was in competition for the championship, had several wins under his belt, and his team had several wins under its belt. Unfortunately, the Österreichring really hurt him in terms of going into Myrtle Beach, as he had a poor finish while William Duncan had a good finish. So, was a little further behind in his efforts, but we go through the last couple of laps here, see if we can finish things off. James Silverfox going to the inside of car number 68 of Michelle Cittadino, and he's going to take the lead. Looks like 2 cars will transfer over to the next round. Let's see who the 3rd car will be. Now on track is car number 07, Henry Nova, the Gary's Mod machine. Now he's the second of the Row 1 racing machines to be on track. Gabriel Montoya was the first. He's eliminated. They still have Ryan Estabalmi on standby. He'll be going up sometime this evening. Well, at least sometime during the event. My mistake. But Henry Nova, car number 07, has some experience in other racing series and stock cars, and also ran in the first race of the NASCAR Road Racing Challenge Cup, which unfortunately folded. So right now we have a battle on track between Finn Guy and Nova. As Finn Guy battles to the inside, Silver Fox is going to help him out. Now, I'm assuming that these drivers are going to keep it calm out here, since they want to make sure they make it to the end of this race. So until we get a couple more cars on track, I highly doubt there will be any contact between these guys. Well, we've been surprised before. James Silverfox heads out to the race lead as Henry Nova battles to the inside and tries to catch up. We only have one more lap left in this round before we add yet another driver to the fray. As Silverfox in the lead, Nova dives to the inside. Finn Guy running the top lane in the back. Now this isn't about position, this is about getting that clean air, and Nova wants it. He wants to make sure that car can run fast and have everyone. Finn Guy with a good speed boost, going to slingshot past James Silverfox, running very close to the back bumper of Nova. Almost turned him around. As we head toward the line, they finish up the round and we add one more driver on track. Next up, car number 41, Joey Beatty, who turned some heads last year in his very limited starts. He's running for Thomas Beatty Motorsports, and last year he drove the 12th car for a couple of events. Those being Martinsville. Whoa! Nova almost turns Jeffrey Finn Guy into James Silverfox. That could have been bad. But as we can continue here, Joey Beatty had a superb finish at Martinsville, despite being 4 laps off the pace, was running very close to the front in 2nd position. So Joey Beatty has shown his talents in racing, and a lot of people were surprised when he didn't come back for the rest of the schedule. They opted to pick Connor Germain. Looks like they decided to pick both this year, since Connor Germain and Joey Beatty will be running the full schedule, along with Thomas Beatty, who went up earlier but was eliminated. Right now, Joey Beatty currently in the lead, followed by Jeffrey Finn Guy a close second. It looks like Nova and Silverfox have slunk to the back of the track as we continue around, trying to get one more circuit in for this round before we add another driver on track. Henry Nova and James Silverfox battling for a position back there, as Jeffrey Finn Guy, I think he's just trying to get some drafting practice with Joey Beatty, pushing the 41 car down track. Not sure if he's going to try and go for a pass for the lead or not, or if he's just going to stay behind and see if he can draft. Looks like he is going for the drafting, as Henry Nova trying to catch up in the 07. Looks like everything's going to be clean and green this round as we head to the line. Let's see who's going to be on track next. Car number 97 on track, and whoa, a jumbled restart here. Joey Beatty goes to the inside. Jeffrey Finn Guy was slow, and so was Silverfox. So now everyone's stacked up, 3 wide for the race lead between Finn Guy, Silverfox, and Beatty. Who can get it, as Nova seems to be pushing James Silverfox, trying to get some drafting help. Pushes him up wide, and now there's 3 wide for the lead once again. It's 3 out for second, now 3 wide for the lead. As Nova, Beatty, and Silver Fox, no give or take. Finn Guy helping Silver Fox on the outside. Debbie Myers just trying to make sure she doesn't wreck the car. Here we go. Going on to the second lap. 3 wide for third place now with Joey Beatty, Debbie Myers, and Jeffrey Finn Guy. This is dodgy. Beatty running very close to the inside, but it looks like things might settle out a bit. Man, we didn't even get a chance to talk about Debbie Myers. Now, Debbie Myers, part of the Piet Motorsports team, it is the last chance for their team since Sona Kors and Robert Piet were eliminated by each other. So, Myers, currently on track, has experience in the NASCAR Phillips Cup Series. So, hoping to bring it out on track here today. Moves to the race lead as we've just been having 3 wide racing all event long. It's now 3 wide for second. Silver Fox trying to muscle his way in to the inside of Debbie Myers and make it 3 wide once again. Almost turned the 97 around. This is the final lap of competition. We have 1 more turn to go. This is the trouble spot. And look at that, a draft line to the bottom. Silver Fox wedges his way underneath Finn Guy, and Nova is going to push him to the front. We crossed the line safely, surprisingly. But we're going to head to a commercial break quickly. Still to come, Dom Capps, Adam Kendrick, Nicholas Guerra. Don't turn away. Hello and welcome back. We're at the halfway point of the Royal Rumble. Let's see who our next competitor on track will be. Here is car number 24, last year's Rookie of the Year, Dom Capps. Now last year, we weren't really expecting him to win Rookie of the Year. We thought it was going to go to William Duncan or his brother Dustin at the start of the season. But Dom Capps, very consistent all year long, and was able to get that victory at the end of the season, going into the finale at Myrtle Beach. So Dom Capps is a race winner on track. Now he and his teammate Dustin driving similarly colored paint schemes, at least similarly styled. Both of them driving the Xbox cars. Now, 6 cars on track at the moment. Henry Nova trying to make the pass underneath of Dom as Debbie Myers tries to head to the outside. As we look near the front, Silver Fox and Beatty are really battling for that lead. And there's Jeffrey Finn Guy still up there in the mix. Dom Capps hoping for a good season. Last year, again, it was a very consistent run, and he had a consistent run in the Utica Rallycross Series and was in contention for the championship, but something went wrong. They're not running that car anymore, so there's probably a lack of funding for them. So we continue on track for the 3rd lap of racing competition. As whoa! Myers and Capps are under the line. I think Henry Nova might have went under the line as well. They're running 4 wide. Contact! James Silver Fox, Joey Beatty, Jeffrey Finn Guy, they're all sliding off track. I think this eliminates everyone on the racetrack. As Dom Capps gets to fire back up and heads to the line, this basically ends it for this round. There are no drivers that are in competition on track at the moment. They finish it up, so we lost everyone on track on that last turn, all 6 cars. So we'll have to take a look at a replay. What happened here? Now, Silver Fox battling with Finn Guy turns him downward into Nova. That collects Dom Capps and the 41 of Joey Beatty. Debbie Myers is eliminated because she went under the line beforehand. Let's see who the 2 drivers on track will be. Since we lost everyone on track, we kind of reset and put 2 cars on the track. The first of them is the number 1 machine of Adam Kendrick. Adam Kendrick running for Fat Dog Racing. The teammates are Ryan DiPetrio, who went up earlier but sadly was unable to stay in for a very long time. Kendrick is from Australia and he's hoping to add a little bit of flair to the field. And right in front of him is Nicholas Guerra, car number 6 in the My Little Pony machine. Now there's been kind of I would say a really mean bet going on in the garage area between several of the teams for this Royal Rumble. There are 3 cars that are painted similarly. There's the 6 of Nicholas Guerra, the 7 of Jerry Guerra, and then there's the 45 of Eric Bush, which also has sponsorship from these guys. It seems that Hasbro has thrown a little bit of money around this season. They currently have a bet in the garage area that if you wreck one of these 3 cars off the racetrack, you win part of the pot, a third of the pot. So, looks like we're getting reports that quite a few drivers have participated in this. So, a little bit mean, but Nicholas Guerra is going to have to look out for them. But talking about the racing career, Nicholas Guerra last year had a decent rookie season. He did not have all the greatest runs in the world, but had a couple of high-profile ones. One of the biggest is a couple of rivalries he had. One at Mostport, where I believe it was him that was wrecked by another vehicle. That's the way we finish up. We'll get to that in a second. Sorry, that cut me off a bit. I was talking a little extensively about the 6, but Charles Jackson on track right now. We'll get to him in a second. We finish up that thought on Guerra. He was involved in the high-profile rivalry between he and Joseph Bryant at Mostport, and then got involved in another high-profile rivalry with Colin Bartel. So we'll have to see if he gets involved in anything else this year. But looking forward to Charles Jackson, the number 32 Trojan machine. Now, his teammate Jack Richards already went up on track, but unfortunately eliminated. Now, Jackson, a very popular personality in the racing world. He came here in a limousine swamped by photographers. Quite the public figure and a real fan favorite going into this season. But Charles Jackson for Mayonnaise Racing, trying his best this year to get this 2-car operation afloat and perhaps maybe even win himself a championship. Now he's currently sitting behind these 2 on track as Guerra and Kendrick draft to the front. Now Guerra had a very successful car last round as Kendrick fell back a little bit. Jackson trying to pick up a little speed. Let's see if he can make the gap. Kendrick to the high side. Charles Jackson going to dive in low as we had in our final lap of competition for this round as we work our way to the next one. But Guerra to the top. Charles Jackson going to get a good run on the inside, which seems to be the preferred lane. Going into the final turn, Adam Kendrick trying to make a pass on Guerra, though again not necessary, seeing as we go by survival here. They all survive. Let's move on to the next round. Sean Angel's on track, but you might notice something in a little bit. Charles Jackson is not. That car did not even get off the grid. It stalled right on the line, and unfortunately he is out of the event. They're thinking it might be an electrical issue, so that was a shame for Jackson. That's the second car to go out only after 1 round, and the first being Anthony McCreary. So now we move on to the 14 of Sean Angel, who came in at the end of last season as an entry for a couple of events. Now, he made his debut at the Batista Bowl in his home country of Canada. We're not going to that track this year, but he really made an impression there, and when we went to Monza, which is sadly another track we're not going to, he had a brilliant run there. I believe it might have been a top 10 finish, so definitely some potential to Sean Angel. He's running for Hamilton Autosport once again as a single car effort. They ran 1 car for the majority of their starts last year. Shrimp and Grits drove the 59 for the Myrtle Beach event. But car number 14 currently trying his best. The Tim Hortons machine currently trying to pass Nicholas Guerra on this last lap of competition. Now, Sean Angel driving, I believe he's driving a Nissan, if I'm not mistaken. Nissan, a couple teams are running them, but they're not the most popular choice this year. We'll have to see how those cars will do, if they can turn some heads. But as we come to the line, that ends this round. We add 1 more to the fray. Next up is one of the more seasoned drivers on the circuit. It's Chris Aurelio, car number 16. Came in early 2012. I believe his debut was at Darlington. And came there with his brother, and ever since then the Aurelio team has always been a figure on track, despite financial woes. Speaking of, last year both cars ran a limited schedule. Michael Aurelio only ran road courses, Chris Aurelio only ran American tracks. However, Chris Aurelio for the first season fared better than his brother, and was able to stay in the top 35, so he's locked into the Bristol event, so there he'll have to prove himself. But Chris Aurelio's team, Aurelio Autosport, got a little help in the offseason from the sponsor DHL. DHL has partnered up with the team, and they own half of it, so it's DHL Aurelio Racing. So hopefully that extra sponsorship will help them out. Now, one car from the team has gone up. That was Jonathan Benton's in the unsponsored 35. He's already out. Michael Aurelio, the Rookie of the Year from 2012, is still yet to go up. Well, we go on to our last lap of competition. Now, we've single file. I saw a little bit of bumping near the beginning. I think it almost turned Sean Angel around. But Angel's still on track. I think he's holding back a little bit to make sure he doesn't get wrecked on this final lap, as Guerra is right on the back bumper of Chris Aurelio. Now, Aurelio is a Utica Rallycross Series champion, so that's something that shows a lot of prestige to the other drivers on track. Not sure if that's the driver you want to mess with, if he can handle a car that well to win a championship in that. We finish up this round, and we had one more driver on track. Next up, one of the many rookies this year is Joe Samaniego in car 53. He's driving the Skull Bandit machine, and a car heavily inspired by the Harry Gant machine, driven in the late 80s and early 90s. Not much information on the racing career of Joe Samaniego. I don't seem to have a paper on that. But he's certainly off to a good start, as he's gotten a huge boost on the rest of the pack. That car seems to be running well. But right now we have a battle right behind him between the remaining cars on track as we head to the line, complete our first lap of competition. As you see, a draft line between Adam Kendrick and Nicholas Guerra has split up, and now there is a lot of position change going on near the back. Two-file racing. Joe Samaniego will have none of that. He is going to pull ahead of the field and try and outrun them. Now, car number 53 on track, doing well today. So this is a good field test for this car, and I think they're going to be happy bringing this to Bristol, as this car seems to be pretty fast as we head on track. One more lap to go on this circuit. As you see, the other cars starting to catch up a little bit, but there's still a hefty gap. Three wide racing back there between Chris Aurelio, Sean Angel, and Adam Kendrick. It looks like Aurelio is going to be the victor on that. Coming down to the final turn for this round, we'll add one more driver on track unless something goes wrong. This last turn is a trouble spot, but at the current moment we're getting reported nothing bad is happening, and Joe Samaniego is going to make the camera angles a little useless as he pulls away. Let's see who's next. Next up, car number 37, Sam Young, which I mentioned Ryan Raso's car turned a couple of heads. This one also turned a couple of heads in the garage area simply because of the stark contrast in sponsors. Applebee's on the front, Huggies on the side. So a lot of people on pit road did kind of a double take to car number 37, but Sam Young drove last year as part of Young Motorsports, a team that's been ever expanding. They're now a 3-car operation. As whoa, things are getting pretty dodgy as Sean Angel splits the middle of a 3-wide run. Adam Kendrick's trying to blast past Nicholas Guerra, and Joe Samaniego still taking the lead. But Sam Young had a decent run last year and was actually successful in certain circumstances. He won a couple of qualifier series events. The qualifier series still exists today, just that it's a little more involved. However, currently on track, car number 37 starting to slip toward the back. It looks like he doesn't have the car completely dialed in yet, but that's partially why we're here. This is a partial test session as well as a survival competition. Sam Young hoping for good things this year. His teammate and brother Dylan Young is scheduled to come up eventually. Oh wait, no, I believe, did he already come up? There's so many drivers, I just lose track. Yes, he already did go up on track, but was eliminated, and teammate Matt Dool will be coming up later. We cross the line and we finish up this round. Let's see who joins him on track next. Next up is car number 25 of Jordan Culp. Now, if this car looks familiar, you saw it earlier. Greg Miller drove the 18 car, which has the same exact paint scheme. As look at that, Adam Kendrick starts to get a run. As Joe Samaniego, did he not have as good of a restart? That car's dropping like a rock through the field, and Jordan Culp barely stays on track. Risky move, and I think his crew chief's going to yell him for it. We have quite a bundle of cars here. And it looks like Joe Samaniego is falling back as Young and Aurelio get into a draft line. And now Nicholas Guerra wants a piece of it too. This is getting pretty risky. I'm not sure how long this could last. Samaniego is dropped to the back. I think that car might only be good in clean air. Dirty air, that car is just going to plummet. So he needs to get to the front as soon as possible. Right now, battle for the lead between Angel and Kendrick. As the car we're focused on, Culp, starts to slip back with Chris Aurelio. Sam Young making a pass to the inside. Samaniego just trying to stay out of trouble. Right now, Chris Aurelio coming back with aggression. It's going to help Sam Young out a little bit. They might be looking for drafting partners when they head to the super speedways. So maybe they're trying to formulate a friendship there between Young and Aurelio. Right now, huge pack of cars, almost 3 wide as Chris Aurelio attempts to go underneath. There's a lot of jostling near the front. There's Sean Angel on the outside. Contact is made. Cars going off track. Cars in the air. I think we have a report everyone's eliminated except Jordan Culp. So we'll have to check what happened there. I think Samaniego got under the line. We'll have to see about Kendrick and Guerra. Let's see about those. No, it looks like Kendrick and Guerra are going to stay safe, so they're fine. Samaniego goes under the line. Chris Aurelio goes in the air. And look at that tumble that Sam Young has. Looks like Chris Aurelio, though, fortunately, will not overturn the vehicle. Let's look at another replay. This is looking at Sam Young from our cameras. It's going to clip the back of Sean Angel, pull it right down to Aurelio and Samaniego, and look at the 37 car make a tumble down the track. As you see, I believe the other machine there is on its roof. That would be Sean Angel. Let's go on board with Sam Young, see what he saw. If his perspective gets shot into the air, that's going to flip the car over. And that car goes tumbling down the straightaway. As now we'll have to chat. We're going to take a look at Sean Angel and see who the next driver will be. We only have 3 cars on track. Sean Angel gets turned. And that car goes over, and it's going to stay over. We lose the camera. We seem to have an issue on the start. Jordan Culp, mechanical issue. It seems to be a camshaft. That car is going to go out of the race. But we have car number 76, Ray Davis, on track as he tries to catch up with the field. Let's see if we can get him catched up. Well, caught up, as it were. The 76 machine trying to work his way to the grid. Now, he's got to watch out since Guerra and Kendrick might start. There we go. He wants to make sure he's at competition speed. He's with them, and he's actually going to get a bit of a boost from it. So, Culp going out of the race is going to give him a benefit. Now, car number 76, driven by Ray Davis, a driver known for his Utica Rallycross Series career. He made a couple of attempts last year in the 06 machine for Gastech Engineering Incorporated, which he is doing this year, only on a larger schedule. He only made 1 race last year, that was at Mossport, and he had a run of about 20th. But this year he'll be running all the speedway events. So he's splitting the ride with John Lasco, who has a different paint scheme to his. And he will be going on the speedway circuits. Now Ray Davis, driving the Autism Awareness car, a driver with autism himself, he is really an inspiration for the sport, as he shows that there's no limits despite his disability. So Ray Davis, definitely a great driver, a great Utica Rallycross Series career that unfortunately is currently over. He's been replaced by John Lasco in that series. But right now trying to make a huge impression in the Utica Home Track Series, as he's currently running behind Guerra and Kendrick. Now these 2 cars have been battling out, and they're actually currently tied for longest time spent on track, so they're both receiving a point at the moment. Ray Davis would have to stay on longer than them to receive the point himself. So Jordan Culp out. We head to the line, and we're going to have 1 more round for today. That ends this round. Let's see who the final driver of this day is. We spoke of the Utica Rallycross Series, and Stephen Carter is definitely no stranger. He was brought to the Utica Rallycross Series for Musical Motorsports as a test to see if he would be competent enough to drive this car. They gave it to him as practice. and he passed with flying colors. He's definitely been awing the crowds at those events all year long. And though not eligible for a championship since he ran a limited schedule, he missed the first 5 along with 2 races where Jeffrey Finguy sat in the vehicle. Stephen Carter has definitely proved himself for a 2014 Utica Home Check Series run. They put him in the number 91 machine for Allen Racing family. Now his teammates will be Alex Allen in the 98 and the 90 car of Nicky Allen. This car currently leading to the back, the Journey machine. Now he's driving the Pontiac. He's one of 3 Pontiac cars out there. So they're alone in that manufacturer. So the plus side, they can get more in terms of Pontiac related parts. They don't have to spread them as thinly. But the bad side is no one else is running them. They can't tune their setups to another team's, and they don't really have the backing support. So they're going to try their best with the Pontiac. I mean, they're not the worst effort. The TVR teams are only 1 car, and that's being driven on a limited schedule by Little John and Cockfosters. But right now, Carter to the inside, definitely showing his skills as a driver, passing a couple of veterans and an impressive rookie of Adam Kendrick. Coming to the line, looks like he's going to be the first to cross it. And that ends the round, and that ends today's coverage. Stay tuned for day number 4 of the Utica Home Check Series Royal Rumble. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.